I know I look like I'm going to talk to you about craft beer, but I'm not. It's not on the list. I didn't want it to be that accurate. You look good. You look good. You look safe. I feel safe up here in front of you. You never know what could happen to me up here. Comedy's dangerous now. I'm sure you've heard it. Never know what could happen to me. Did a show a while ago, and I said my age on stage. I'm 42. Thank you. And a woman yelled out, "81 babies unite!" And for a second, I thought that I had said something that upset her, and that she'd summoned 81 babies to come and take me the fuck down. I got in my head about it too. I was like, how am I going to defend myself against 81 babies? I'm all right up to 10. I can distract them. I'll jump over them. I'm not going to jump them. I'm not going to do anything like that. But upwards of 10, I have a decision to make. Do I kick a baby? I personally, I don't. I let them take me. I let them consume me like a pod of zombies. So that's what they do. They start operating as a unit at that number. They're working together, okay? They're climbing up your legs. They got strength. They got the strength for it. You ever let a baby grab your finger? You're like, where the fuck did that come from? This is true, by the way. There was a study done, like a legit study. And the average infant can support its own body weight in a dead hang for 10 seconds. That's true. The average infant. They found the average. Some of us are people of science here. In order to find an average, you need a sample size. That means they took a bunch of babies. A well-educated man hung a baby up to a chin-up bar, let it grab on, and then another well-educated man hit start on a timer, and then he hit stop when the baby let go. I said man twice there. I'm not being sexist. I'm just assuming that there was no woman present because she would have stopped it. I'm just guessing. She would have been like, what the fuck are we doing here? And then they would have been like, we finished measuring our dicks and we didn't know what to do with our time. So I don't have any kids. That's probably good because I would 100% hang my baby from a chin-up bar just to see. I would be curious. But my wife and I, we don't have kids. We read the terms of service and did not like them. We're in our 40s though, so it's thank you. Kind of like a last call situation, like last call at a bar. Like you miss last call that night, you're like, shit, I wish I got another drink. But then the next morning you wake up and you're like, I'm so glad that I didn't get another drink. Sometimes when I hang out with a friend's baby, I'll be like, oh shit, I wish we had a baby. But then the next morning, I'll wake up and I'm like, I'm so glad that we don't have a baby. We have animals. You gotta take care of something. You gotta monitor the bowel movements of another being. That is the next step in a healthy relationship, I believe. We have a dog and a cat, and they're expensive. I don't know how I would afford kids. The cat's just, he got a fucking bladder stone that we had to have removed because you can't just let him die now. Not like our parents did. Where the dog would just start to smell weird and then it would get like weepy eyes and then it just wouldn't be there the next week. Now you gotta save them. Now you gotta get the community involved. You gotta have a GoFundMe. I have no problem with it. I'm happy to spend all my money on my cat or my dog. The cat and the dog both have better health insurance than I've had in my entire life. But still, getting this bladder stone removed was expensive. And the vet was like, that was a huge bladder stone. And I was like, cool, can I have it? And he was like, why? I said, usually when I pay that much for a stone, I like to have it mounted in something. He said no. It would make a nice conversation piece, though. You know, I get a little princess cut bladder stone, just put in a ring, put in a real nice setting. I'm just getting people to look at it. That? Oh, that grayish yellow stone? It's a rare mineral, found only in the bladder of the domestic shorthair. Save that cat's life for a second time. First time was when we rescued him. He's a rescue. Got him out of a bush. Now I get this bladder stone removed. Think he gives a fuck? Think that stops him from waking me up at 3 in the morning for absolutely no reason. I like to play this game with him where I pretend that he's a waiter and I can't get his attention. Excuse me, sir. What do you get, sir? Sir, when you get a, can I, sir? Then I turn to my wife. When he comes your way, can you tell him I want some ketchup? We got the dog, too. She's great. Got her for protection, honestly. She's a 12-pound Pekingese. Nobody's fucking with me. My tiny-ass dog. She's a rescue. We didn't save her from a burning building. We just got her out of New Jersey, which is a rescue by a lot of definitions. We applied to all these places to get a dog. If you've ever done it, you know, you submit all these applications, and then eventually somebody calls you, and this place called us, and they were like, hey, we have a litter of Pekingese puppies that we seized from an irresponsible breeder. Would you like one? And we were like, yeah, sure. And I said, I mean, I don't know what an irresponsible breeder is. That worried me a little bit. Like, I've used the term to dog shit on my relatives mostly, but I didn't know what it meant with dogs. It basically, the short version is the dog's inbred, okay? She's supposed to be a purebred, but she's like too pure. She's got like a little King Joffrey thing going on. She's got show dog DNA, but there is an extra twist at the bottom of that strand. She has a nice little prance. You could tell it's in her, but then you look at her face and she's got an underbite like this, like that. And then her eyes are crossed, but like that. Not like that. And it's cute. She's riding that line. There is a line between, oh my God, that's adorable, and oh my God, can that thing breathe? She's on the adorable side. But people will laugh at her too. Like when they see her, and it bothers me. It shouldn't, but it does. I'll walk her and they'll just point like, ha ha. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You think she can't hear you? She's not in on the joke. She doesn't know what she looks like. Then they'll always be like, oh, is that a purebred? I'm like, what's with that question, Hitler? No, you can't pet her. Get away from us. Go around. You got to go far because she can see you. My dog has terrible timing too. She'll always kind of look at me like, hey, are you busy right now? And then I'll be like, yeah, I'm actually the most busy I've ever been. And then she'll be like, good, because I got a shit. And I'll do it on the floor. And I'm not going to call her bluff. So I take her outside, and I think, oh, she's really got to go. She'll find a spot. She'll find a spot quick, but that never happens. Dog owners know what I'm talking about. They just got, nothing's good enough. I'm like, right here? How's this? No? You want to go further? Okay. Go a little further. Okay, not that? Okay. You just feel like a real estate agent with a really picky client. Like, here's a nice starter patch. There's a little bit of grass, some good eastern sunlight, and it's in an up-and-coming neighborhood. No, you're looking for something a little more upscale? Okay. A gated community. You want one with a little fence and a sign that says you can't shit there. Fair enough, dog. I don't know if anyone else is in a couple with just taking care of a dog and not a child, but my dog's poops are a huge topic of discussion between me and my wife, and I don't know if it's normal, but a lot of texts. How was her poop? I'm like, oh, good. The other day she took a huge dump. I'm not trying to be gross, but she took a huge dump, and I took a picture of it. I put my foot next to it for scale, and then I sent that picture to my wife. I was like, look what our little girl did. I do like being married. I mean, maybe it's because I married someone cool, but she's fun. She likes to watch Jeopardy. She likes to watch Jeopardy, and then she likes to scream the answers. But from the other room, it just sounds like she's asking dumb questions. What is Kansas? Who is Elvis Presley? I'm like, are you having a stroke? Should I get help? She's always worried about me eating expired food, because I do it all the time. Because I don't need the fucking government telling me when my hummus is bad. I got a goddamn nose, all right? I've developed a really good sense for whether or not food is actually too bad to eat, and you only develop a sense like that one way, and that's by fucking it up a lot. The other day, she came home, and she's like, did you eat that hummus? And I'm like, yeah, why? She's like, oh my God, it was so old. Are you okay? I was like, yeah, it was a little tangy, but other than that. She's like, it had a Vote Bernie sticker on it. I'm like, oh, I thought he was just running again. I didn't know it was that old. I think I'm an all right husband, but I'll tell you what's going to get me is I have a shit memory. Like, I don't have my wife's phone number memorized. She changed it 3 years ago for work, and I just stopped memorizing phone numbers like 15 years ago, and it's not sticking. She's not my emergency contact. If I have an emergency, I'm calling the house I lived in when I was 8 years old. Like, hello, it's Jimmy. Do you know my wife? I used to live there. I've been in a terrible accident. We got married not too long ago. It was, first wedding for both of us. And like I said, we're in our 40s, so it was it was an old wedding. Not a young wedding. It's a good vibe. Nobody's grandparents were there, but it was a good vibe. Very big in memoriam table at my wedding. I think we might have waited too long, but when you go to a wedding and the couple's like in their 40s, it's a good vibe because you're like, I think they're gonna be all right. It's not like going to a wedding when the couple's in their early 20s, which I'm sure we've all done. And if you're in your early 20s and you get married, I'm sorry, but you're always just kind of like, this is a blast. Here's an Applebees gift card. Good luck, everyone. When the couple's in their 40s, you're like, I think they can make it through the back nine of their lives together. Here's a Bonefish Grill gift card. That's a fancier franchise. Not here in the Big Apple, but boy, do people get that reference in the Midwest. I had an old bachelor party. That was the only weird part. Bachelor party in your 40s. Not at all what I thought a bachelor party would be like. So it was just a bunch of guys in their 40s running around town that they didn't live in. It was more of a conference, really. We had a destination bachelor party, though. You know where we didn't go to Las Vegas. We went to Cleveland. At a destination bachelor party in Cleveland. I stand by my decision. It was a blast. It's a cheap ticket. Everything's good. They're happy to have you. They'll keep your secret just as well as Vegas. They're like, yeah, we won't tell anyone. Thanks for having your conference here. And it was still a party. We partied. We had a lot of alcohol. There was a lot of drugs, too. They were all prescribed to us, but we had them. A lot of good stuff. A lot of Xanax. A lot of Fomax. A little bit of Lunesta. Just real relaxed vibe. A lot of strong streams at my party. Nobody was getting up to pee. One friend brought acid. My wild card friend. He was like, do you guys want to do this acid? And we were all like, not at all. We're in our 40s at a bachelor party in a town none of us live in. Let's just keep this what it is. It's a bunch of boys running around town trying to get their steps in before bed. Thanks, everybody. My name's Jim Tews. Have a great night.